All right, it's Thursday night. Time for one of my favorite things to do in a week, and that's to do a Las Vegas Triathlon Club member spotlight. I'm John Mercer, president of the Las Vegas Tri Club, co-host Bob Gamble, board member. Hey, Bob, how's it going?
It's going fine, sir. Thank you so much. Good to see you.
Good to see you. And this is going to be a lot of fun to talk with a new triathlete, Danny Tran. And I'm going to let Bob do the introduction, but I'll tell you, Danny came to our first swim run sort of test event we did out at Lake Las Vegas. And man, the guy just had a smile the whole time. And I know
That's
we're
right. I
going to talk
remember
more
that too.
about it, but he was just loving it, and it was really a neat experience. Neat to see him do that first multi-sport event in the tri world, and so it's gonna be fun to get to know Danny a little bit more and hear more of his story. But I'll let Bob do the official introduction.
All right. Thank you, John. And welcome, Danny. It's really good to have you on tonight.
Well, great to be here, and I
And
feel
and
like being here.
I do remember the the swim event at Lake Las Vegas, and that's where I met Danny. And as John said, I remember Danny coming back from one of the runs, and he had this smile on. I
Yeah,
mean, you couldn't have knocked that smile off his
that's
face
right.
with a hammer. He was just smiling, and he was really enjoying himself, and it made everybody else around him smile. So it was a really wonderful event to have Danny there. And there was another interesting thing that happened that night. This was Danny's first open water swim. He had never been in outside of a pool swimming. And that's how John got to know him, because John swam beside him. That's the kind of guy John is. He swam beside him the whole race, or it wasn't a race, it was just a swim event. And it was interesting because you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. It was so murky. But so Danny and John got to do the swim together. And then again, Danny finished the swim portion of it and went on the run and came back, and smile never left his face for the whole time.
No.
But Danny joined the club in June of 2021, brand new. Did the open water swim, as we mentioned. Then did his first triathlon was the club triathlon, right, Danny? It
Yes, it
was
was.
the club triathlon. And then he went right into the big league, and he did the Pumpkin Man, which is a huge step up, because you have a climb that makes you think, what the heck did I get into triathlon for? So,
Yes.
and that was it. Danny has done the sprint in the club race, the Pumpkin Man, which is a very hard sprint, and just getting started. So it does make me wonder, Danny. Tell us. There's so many questions I want to ask. I don't even know where to start yet. But
Give me one.
before I get to that,
All right.
and we're gonna ask you that, but your T-shirt, Filthy Kickboxers. Apparently
Oh,
you're a kickboxer,
yes, I am.
and you tell where do you kickbox?
I kickbox at Evolve Kickbox and Fitness.
Okay, and that's Candace McCutcheon's
Yes,
club,
Candy
right?
McCutcheon. Yes, she that is her club, and she runs the studio and everything, and I love that place.
Okay, so tell me, is that what got you into triathlon? Candace being there.
Yes, it was. So I was just really inspired by Candace's her fitness and everything, the way she inspired so many people at that gym. And then I decided with a group of friends at that gym that we were gonna go surprise her actually last year in April in St. George at her half Ironman event. And then like when I was there at the Ironman event, like I was seeing like people running and like passing the finish lines, and then I was just like, wow. And then like I kind of really didn't have a clue what the distance really were, but when I like saw the distance and what they were doing, I was just like, wow, this is amazing. And I was like in my mind, I was like, I need to do this one day. And then when I saw Candace cross the finish line and she saw us there, so she was so surprised as well. I was like, she was literally in tears. And then she's just like seeing her finish that, and she was already so inspiring. Just being the person that runs the gym and everything, and she just inspired everybody. And me plus seeing her finish that triathlon just really inspired me more to even want to do it.
Well,
And then
you
yes,
go ahead.
I didn't. I was not even planning to do a triathlon, but Candace came. I literally told Candace, I was like, "Wow, this looks amazing," and then all that. And then she comes up to me about like a week later, and she's like, "Danny, you know, there's a Pumpkin Man triathlon. She told me about the Pumpkin Man around in May. Yeah.
Okay, and that's whenever you decided to join the
That's when
club,
I
and
decided that,
then you
yes.
did that one first.
Yes,
Well, first of all, I just got to tell you, you're a good man to drive up to St. George to watch Candace, and I know, talking to Candace and other people, you absolutely made her day. So that was wonderful that you and your friends did that.
yes, that was just a really amazing feeling that day. It was just the best thing ever.
Yeah, I can imagine. And it's like, talk about getting you hooked. I mean, you had a like a taste of it, and it's
Yes, I
like, I
did.
want that.
Yes, exactly.
So, you beat me to the question as far as what is it that got you into triathlon? So it was Candace, and you wanted some of the sensation that you saw on other people's faces when they were crossing the finish line, huh?
Yes, I did.
And then tell me on your first triathlon that you did. And I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, so I'm gonna stop right there, because John, I know I'm kind of camping on some of John's questions,
Oh
but
no, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, I love this storyline,
oh,
and
so
it's
do I.
really neat. The first thing that comes to mind is triathlon does bring people together, and you surround yourself with people who inspire you, but in turn, you also inspire others, and it's sort of a neat community that you build out that way. And what a great story to hear. Supporting someone else, because that comes back. I mean, we always say triathlon's an individual sport, but we never do it alone. And so that's neat to have that community. But let's talk about from the time that you decided to sign up from Pumpkin Man to getting ready for the first swim run at Lake Las Vegas, because that was a swim run. We did two swims and two runs. Is that what we did?
I can't remember. Do you
For
remember,
some,
Danny?
I believe it was a run, swim, run.
Oh, run, swim, run. Okay. All
Yes.
right. Yeah, yeah, good. So yeah, so talk with us or tell us about going from you went to watch this race, which is inspiring, and then Candace, gets you to sign up for Pumpkin Man. That's cruel.
Way to go,
And
Candace.
then
I'm
from
so
that
thankful for
point,
that though.
yeah, what did you do to prepare for that first swim run event?
So in my mind, I just signed up and then I was really excited and everything. And then I from when I signed for Pumpkin Man, that's when I realized I've never swam and I've cycled before, but I've never really cycled a lot in my mind.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Wow.
then I joined the Las Vegas Triathlon Club, this club right here. And then I
Yeah.
saw that you guys were doing that event. And then again, Candace, she was the one who pushed me. She was like, you have to try this, try this. And then when I heard about the event, that's when I started going to the pool and practicing about like 4 times a week. Cause I was like, I need to learn how to swim.
Yeah.
And I was kind of doubting myself a lot because I was like, what am I doing wrong and stuff. Like, I was just like, so doubting myself and everything. And then I asked another person that saw me swim, and then he told me, he was like, what are you worried about? So I don't know. And then after that, that gave
And
me a
what did
little,
he mean by that? What are you worried about?
because he saw me swim 75 yards, no problem.
No.
And then he was just like, what are you worried about? Your form looks good and everything. And I was like, and after he told me that, I was like, wow.
No.
I
And
like this.
yeah, and then and running, I've always ran I started running a while ago before I've even done kickboxing. I was always a runner. I like to run. So, and then swimming was a new thing to me. So I had to start practicing swimming. So
Uh,
yes,
Go ahead.
I just had to practice swimming and what really, I was scared to start swimming, but after the signing up for that swim run, I told myself I had to start practicing.
Mm.
Yes.
So, did you get lessons on swimming when you first started, or how did you learn how to swim?
I actually watched videos online
Mhm.
of a bunch of people, how forms are and everything. And then a bunch of people, I just learned from a bunch of ways that different people teach online. And then I have a friend that I met. He was a swimmer at UNLV, and he just tells me things that can improve my speed and
Okay.
stuff and how to swim and stuff. He
That's
tells me
great.
a lot, and then sometimes he'll come swim with me and he'll show me things, but I don't really have like a coach or anything that teaches
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Well, two things that are interesting about what you just said, that are great about what you just said, is learning from other people, especially somebody who knows what they're doing. Though the UNLV swimmer, he's not going to be a UNLV swimmer if he doesn't know what he's doing. And
Exactly.
one other thing that you brought up, and it's good to hear you say, you really can't tell what you're doing wrong yourself. Someone else really, they can see what you're doing. You really can't feel it as well. So you're smart. You're doing it the right way.
Mhm.
And there are some other really good coaches around. I got to put in a plug for Devaney McCary too. If you ever, I don't know if you ever heard of her, but she's an outstanding
I'm
swim
still
coach.
new to this, so I haven't heard of a lot of people
Yeah.
yet, but I will. I'm sure I will.
Okay.
That's great.
And
Okay, so now tell us about that first swim run event, and then I want to hear about getting into the first club tri event, and then ultimately Pumpkin Man. So
all right, so that first swim, I I prepared for it a little. When I got there, I was just really nervous because I was just like in my mind looking out at the lake. I was like, oh my god, I got to go in the open water. And then for some reason, I kept thinking sharks, sharks. But I was like, we're in the lake. There's no sharks. And that calmed me down a bit. I'm like, there's no sharks. And then that calmed me down a bit. But then I was still a little scared. Another weird thought came to my mind. I was like, is there bodies in the water? But yeah, that was just like all a mental thing. And I was really scared. And then I talked to you, and then you were telling me a bunch of things. And then I also learned a lot from you too as well there. You were telling me like, you were like, you look like a sprinter, Danny. I remember you said that. And then I was talking about endurance and stuff, and you were telling me the best way to build up my endurance is train slow.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that. And then when we started we were about to swim, you asked me, have I ever swam in the open water before? I said no, I haven't, and I'm a little nervous. And then you were telling me, you know what, I'll swim right alongside you, no problem. After when you told me that like calmed my nerves down a little bit. I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. And then everything just started, and then I saw people go into the water while I was still a little hesitant about it. But then I was like, let's go, let's do this. And then I started swimming. When I started swimming in the open water, that scare feeling kind of went away. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it
Well,
kind of just went
there's
away.
a fear of not of the unknown. If you don't know, there's some fear there. There is. So it's
Yeah.
like once you got in, then you calmed it. Yeah, you calmed it down.
Yeah, it was like I faced a fear a little bit.
Well, you
Definitely
did,
did.
and all I can tell, a little bit more of the same story is that we were sitting on the dock and we let everyone else go first, which is a good strategy at that first, swim multi-sport event. Let everyone go, and then I looked at you and you looked at me, and I think you even said, "Okay, let's go," and you just jumped in like that, and so it was really neat to see. You're telling me now that you're hesitant, but you didn't show it, and you just jumped in and went after it.
Yeah, I was definitely hesitant, but I always like to face things. Like, that's the best way to face it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah, good for you.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
So
Don't
then,
let yourself talk yourself out of it.
yeah,
yep, exactly. Because most of the time that happens. So I decided you just got to do it. Just do
yeah,
it.
that's great. So
You
what
never
was
know.
it like completing the swim and then going off for the run?
So when I completed the swim, I got out and like I just had the best feeling ever. And then in my mind, I was like running. And I just love running. I love running in general. I was like, time to run. And then after it was just the smile on my face came from the swim, honestly.
Yeah.
And then it just stayed on my face. During that run, I was like, oh my God, I just swam. The whole time I was running, I was just like, and I wasn't even trying to run fast. I was just like jogging. And then I was in my mind, I was like, I just swam in the open water. I can't
You
believe I did this.
you already had a victory under your belt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
I wasn't even worried about finishing the run in my mind the whole time. I was just so like proud of myself for finishing the open water swim.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
I love
And
it. And
then
that's so great. I mean, just because those are victories, as Bob said, and we got to celebrate them. So that's really neat to hear.
yeah, and then finishing that run as well made me even more happy. Just
Yeah.
crossing the finish line. Honestly, that's like a feeling I can't get anywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a really good
Wait,
feeling.
we're going to have to make a book of quotes because that's a really good one. Crossing the finish line. How did you say that again?
Crossing the finish line. There's really no feeling like that.
There's no
Yeah.
feeling like that. That's right.
Yeah, there's really no feeling like that.
All right.
Yeah,
So
that's
now
cool.
that you did the swim run and that you signed up for our club tri event too, what did you do after the swim run where you said, okay, now here's what I need to do to be successful on the triathlon?
All right. So after that, I saw that I definitely needed to improve my cycling.
Hmm.
That's when I really started getting into cycling. And then when I first got into cycling, I did not have a bike. I knew a friend that he was a cyclist, and he had a really good bike, and he was telling me I already had a bike, but it wasn't the best bike. And then he was telling me like these races you have to have a good bike, and then he was like you don't necessarily have to spend a lot of money, but he's like if you practice with my bike and do the race with my bike, you will probably enjoy it a lot more. So I was like, okay, maybe not, just give it a try.
Oh,
My friend he let me borrow his bike for a bit, and then I started cycling a lot, just around town, cruising around. I literally stopped using my car for a bit too,
oh,
and
cool.
I started
Yeah.
cycling to like the gym and stuff,
Yeah.
and then to my even to like a friend's house, I'll cycle there. I just started using it for like transportation for quite a little bit, not all the time, but I did
Hmm.
like a lot.
That's a
Oh,
great
Started,
way to
that
build
is
up some
huge.
mileage. So that's really,
yeah, I
really
just
great.
started doing that, just like going to like I needed something at the store, I'll ride my bike to the store and grab it,
Yeah.
and then I just really loved cycling after that. And then even with the group of friends we started doing like just for fun every week we would meet up at this bike near the Parkway Tavern, and
Mm.
then we would just cycle for like 10 miles together, not even like speeding it, just like cruising and then having talking with each other, having
Yep.
fun and stuff. We just do that once a week. We did that for about a month, and then I realized I needed to practice my transition, and then the I believe the triathlon was coming up like in 2 weeks. And I was like, I never practiced my transitions or anything. And then I was like, okay, so I just started doing cycling to running.
Yeah.
That's what I focused on the most, because I figured I needed to focus on the transition because I know how it feels running with noodle legs.
Running with
Yeah,
noodle legs. Yep.
running with noodle legs, and that's the best way to describe
Oh,
that.
it
Yeah.
is. You're absolutely right.
Yes, and
So,
then
something else that you said that was really great was the fact that you were riding probably every day or close to every day, and
about
you're
yes,
being very consistent.
yes,
So,
yes. I just
and you weren't killing it. You were out for a nice casual ride,
yeah,
building
I never
building
like
some
did
miles.
sprints or anything because like from what John told me, I still keep that in mind to this day. Training slow will improve your times and stuff, will make you faster. And so far, that's been helping me.
Yeah, he has a way of doing that to people. You know that?
It's yeah, no, it's the secret sauce is being consistent with training and you get better. Okay, so now you show up on race day for the club triathlon. What was going through your mind when you're standing on the shore looking out and it looks a little different than Lake Las Vegas?
Oh yes, I just remember the sunrise.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
wasn't that
Sunrise,
cool?
best feeling ever. And then my friend Candice McCutcheon was there too.
yeah.
She was like, Danny, welcome to the triathlon life. And I was like, all right, let's do this. And I just remember staring into the sun rising up. And then
Yeah.
that was just like, that's what I remember most out of that race. Just
Hmm.
staring out to the sun, like, wow, let's do this.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of people don't get to see. I mean,
Yeah,
the place where the sun comes up on Lake Mead,
right. The
triathlon
Lake
morning,
Mead.
it's indescribable, and you can only see it from there. That's right.
Yes. And then swimming into that was, I felt great. Like, just, I
Yeah.
was like, wow, the sunrise, like, kind of boosted me a little bit. That view gave me a little bit of energy. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, let's do this. And then after that, I just like, let's do this. And then
Yeah.
I just went into it. And again, I tried not to rush too much because I kind of use this as training to prepare for the Pumpkin Man as well.
Yeah.
So I was
Smart.
like, don't go too hard, but do your best. And then I
Mhm.
did that. And then when I finished, that feeling came again, crossing the
Yeah.
finish line. And this time though, I saw Candace at the end of the finish line cheering me on.
Yeah.
And then that was that put a big smile on my face as well.
That's
And then that was
awesome.
just a really cool feeling. And then she even recorded me running across the finish line. I still have that video. I watch it every now and then. I was like, I'm just proud of myself for that too. And then just seeing the support from Candace really warmed my heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's neat because you obviously have a community now that you've built surrounding yourself with people that again you're inspiring others and you're being inspired by others. All right, but I want to hear how did the bike ride go on that day?
On that day, I was using my friend's bike as well on that day. Oh, actually, a week before that race was when my friend surprised me with a new bike.
Oh, wow.
And then I got the new bike that week, and then I used it for that race. And then he was telling me this is great for hill climbing, so it was perfect for the Pumpkin Man coming up. And then when I was cycling, for some reason I wasn't worried. Like I felt great because like I was cycling a lot, and I was like, let's do this. It was fun. It was
Yeah.
really fun, and I enjoyed it. I just love feeling the breeze sometimes, strolling through.
Mm-hmm.
The cycling part for that triathlon just felt really nice to me, amazing. And then when I got to the run, I was kind of a little bit my legs were a little bit tired, and then I was kind of a little bit hesitant. But as I started running, I was like, this is good, this is good. I got into it, but I was like, okay, just keep going. We're almost there. Too close to give up.
Yeah.
And then that's what pushed me. I was like, we're getting there, we're getting there. I was a little nervous, but I was like, about halfway through that run, I was like, all right, let's speed it up. And I was like, I'm feeling it. Let's go.
Oh, that's
That's
awesome.
when I
Well, that's
picked up.
great to
Isn't
hear
it though?
that the bike went well because that's a tough bike course down there at Boulder Beach, and
Yeah, it
that's
is.
neat that you were enjoying it more than looking at how hard it was. I mean, that's just a fantastic attitude to have, and even the run course is not easy. You go up that hill coming out of transition. That's not an easy hill to run up.
Yeah, and I just love it. And then again, that finish line, best feeling ever. No other
Yeah.
feeling like that.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's awesome. Okay, so now what did you do after the Tri Club race to get ready for Pumpkin Man?
All right. So after that, there was this so I live in an area, there's like a hill because I realized the Pumpkin Man was really hilly
Yeah.
and all pretty much in a climb the entire time.
Yeah,
And
it's
then I
not hilly.
realized
It is a hill.
hill, not hilly, hill. Yes. So I realized I needed to build that strength a little bit and endurance to go uphill. So that's when I started training, just ride. That's when I started cycling, really more focusing on cycling
Mhm.
and really not just cruising around. I started like training more with cycling. And I did that. There was this hill I lived near, and it's just I repeatedly go up that hill. Now I would
Mhm.
circle around. It takes me like another way down, and then I would just repeat that hill consistently. Every time I hit that hill, I would kind of like go into a sprint mode,
Mhm.
and then I would just kind of catch my breath around. There was a circle that would let me like catch my breath around, and then I would just sprint up that hill again. And then
How long was this hill?
it was not that long, honestly. It was
Mhm.
about like, I would say half a mile.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's
Yeah.
substantial.
Yeah, about half a mile.
Did you stand up on it at all, or was it all seated?
I did stand up. I
Mhm.
did stand up.
Okay.
Yes.
So you
I,
got some strength under your legs.
yes, a little bit.
Mhm.
And how did that translate? How did Pumpkin Man feel, especially on that last 3/4 mile hill when you come under the tunnel and you climb that hill?
Oh, yes. That I was, I was, I was happy to go to the cycling part, but then the wind was what kind of
Mm.
brought me that. It was very windy that day. So in my mind, I was like, the wind's slowing me down. I can't slow down. So thinking that the entire time just kept me going. I was like, the wind is slowing me down, so I gotta push it, push it. And then the reason for some reason I kept thinking that because it was
Wow.
windy. And I was like, I gotta go, keep going, can't slow down because the wind is already slowing me down.
And then how was it when you hit the run then?
When I hit the run, I saw when the transition, I saw my friends there. So surprised me as well in a way.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
then just seeing them, the support of them, I was kind of really tired out after the bike ride, but seeing them support me, they made me signs and everything. I was like, whoa.
Wow.
I was like, whoa. And then that just gave me more like a little boost. And I was like, let's finish this run so I can go see my friends. And then I did the run. And then on the run course, I did not ask this person's name, but we were kind of like competition, like trying to race each other. And then after we crossed the finish line, I remember talking with this guy. I forgot his name. I did not ask, but we thanked each other. We were like,
Yeah.
thank you so much for like motivating each other like the way we did. We were just like, it was like we were trying to race each other a bit.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was passing me up. I was trying to pass him up. I wish I got his name, but yeah, that felt great. And then I just love the feeling, honestly, of like constantly, consistently running or consistently cycling.
Mhm.
There's a feeling that I get from that where I can like think things clearly in
Hmm.
my mind for some reason. It like clears my mind and in a way opens my mind up to
Wow.
like thinking things more straightly.
Mhm.
So when I do those races, it just for some reason it just opens my mind in a way, opens my
See,
mind.
you're not
Yeah,
looking forward to more races, are you?
I am looking forward to more
I'm
races.
teasing. Yes. I'm sure you are. So
Well, that's
what
great.
do you,
Yeah, I love this. I love that mindset of why you race and what you get out of it. That's really neat, and I can see it and hear it in your voice, the excitement, and that is fun. That's contagious. I'm sitting here. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to race again. This is you're spot on. I love
Yeah,
this.
I'm really excited too. I can't wait to race again. Now, just talking about this is really exciting me.
That's
yeah.
great.
You
So
know,
what?
I was going to save it for wrapping up, but your enthusiasm is infectious.
Yeah,
And I hope a lot of people watch this because they're going to want to race and, you know, get real excited about doing this again.
that's right.
Yes. And if anybody is thinking like their first round hesitant about it, I got into the triathlon sport not even knowing how to swim or cycle. So
That's
anybody
awesome.
can do it.
And on a brand new, you know, bike that you just received, and yep. So
So
you don't need those, you know, $8,000, $10,000
No, no, you
triathlon
do
bikes
not. No,
to
you do not.
do your first race
mhm.
or your
Nope.
second, any race.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so tell us about your 2022 plans.
All right. This year, I plan on doing one triathlon because I am doing a few other things as well. But the main triathlon I'm doing this year is the Pumpkin Man again, but I'm going to increase it to the Olympic distance this year. I want to
Awesome.
try to go for a longer distance this year.
Uh,
So that is my goal for this year for the triathlon.
I
Have
love it.
you ridden the longer bike course, the 25
Um,
mile?
no, I have not.
Do that.
All right, I should, yes. And
So it
then,
doesn't surprise you.
yep, and I have also have a marathon, the Revel
Oh,
a marathon, half marathon coming up
yeah.
just in about 2 weeks.
Oh,
Oh, good
cool.
deal.
Yes, that's the one I'm doing, and then I'm also doing Spartan race as well,
Okay.
Spartan trifecta.
Yep.
Yes, and then that's my 2022 plans for races.
That's
Now, are
great.
you doing the Spartan race with Candace's group?
Yes, I plan on doing that.
Way cool.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
What
it's
did
great.
you do before? I mean, you know, what sports have you done before, like in high school or college?
Honestly, I was very out of shape before all of this in high school. I was not in the best shape. I was very overweight and obese.
No,
Yes,
I would not. No one would have expected that.
Mhm.
You're in such good shape now.
I am 90 pounds lighter than I used to be.
Whoa, really?
90.
Yes,
Wow,
That is
congratulations.
incredible.
thank you. And then when I started fitness, that's what really changed my life for the better.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing.
And
I
it
had
all
no
started
idea,
with running.
Danny.
It all started with running.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Way
Yes,
cool.
and then I grew a love for running when I just started running.
Yeah.
I developed that thing, the runner's high. I'm
Yeah.
sure a lot of people heard of that, and then I didn't really know what that was until I felt it.
Yeah.
And it's
Mhm.
like once you get going, you get at a good pace. It just you want to keep
I could
going.
do this forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Well, Danny, I'm not surprised that you've hit this big goal of losing 90 pounds. I mean, you just seem like you've really found, a love of sport in general. From kickboxing, Spartan to triathlon. I mean, it's really showing. And like Bob said, I'm going to steal Bob's word. It's very infectious to hear this enthusiasm that you have. This is so great.
Yeah.
Thank
Danny,
you.
are you coming out to the ride on Saturday? There's
No,
a
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm actually out of town right now.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes. So I won't be in that one.
Okay. I was gonna say I look forward to riding with you.
All right. Another time.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do it.
Well, Danny, we said we'd keep you for 30 minutes and we're about there. This is Danny, I am just really impressed with what you've accomplished and getting into the sport. And I can't wait to see how 2022 goes. This is going to be just a lot of fun to watch. So thank you so much for joining us and sharing your
Absolutely.
story.
Yes, no problem. And thank you guys for having me.
It's been
Yep.
wonderful. And also, I just want to maybe encourage you to do some of the club races if you can squeeze those in. I'd love, and I'm sure a whole lot of people would love to race with you.
Of course, definitely.
So check out the club races and maybe you can work those into your schedule.
Yeah.
All right, I will check that out.
Cool.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Danny. Have a good evening. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you,
Yes, thank
Danny.
you.
We'll see
Goodbye.
everybody.
All right.